All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Jack Ramsays post-game show. I don't know how muffled this sounds with this on, but I've got to pay off the bit, right? Flying solo tonight. Brandon has kids, so he's out trick-or-treating. My wife is now cooking dinner for guests that we have coming over. We have trick-or-treaters, so I'm going to keep this one probably a little bit shorter. And it was kind of a rough game. Portland Trailblazers fall to the Charlotte Hornets. Was it 125, 113? Going 0-1 on the first real road trip of the season. And fall to 3-3. Bit of a weird game. I saw some folks early on. I like the defense, and I'm not sure how you could like the defense in this game when I saw how really ineffective they were for pretty much the entire game. It was I don't know, man. I get wanting to be excited about things and all of that, but Andrew Bates is pretty muffled, but nice effort. Okay, yeah, the mask is coming off at this point, so that's not too much of an issue. So that, and I'm going to choke inside this thing. It is a lot, let me tell you. Oh, let me go ahead and fix that. Lord God. Andy Marchand, A Tale of Two Halves. I don't know if it was. That's the thing, is I don't really know. I saw what looked like a fun game, but I don't know if the halves really changed. I think Charlotte maybe tuned it up a little bit more with their aggressiveness. Other than that, I thought it was pretty much a pretty straight, even, mostly competitive game where the Blazers kind of ran out of options on the front end, but on the back end. But otherwise, I think you just had some shooting luck type stuff kind of happen for both teams. I'm not really going to crush Portland for their defense, but I'm definitely not going to say it was good. They went to the halftime show with them saying, "Oh, relatively good defense," and the Hornets at that point in time were hitting 50% from the field and 50% from three. And it wasn't like Charlotte was just canning good shot after good shot after good shot. They were hitting wide open shots. This is the simplest way I can put this is very simply, this was the first half in this game particularly, and this is kind of what I was talking about in the Memphis game. A lot of driving kick that led to skip passes to the corner, except Charlotte hit them. If Memphis had hit these shots, I think that's how this game probably would have gone a week ago now. Charlotte, they've been good offensively. They came in, as we said in the pregame show, the top offensive team in the league, 117 points a game. They were shooting 46% from the field as a team, 40+% from three, and 73 or 74% from the free throw line. Michael says that was a winnable game. They just phoned it in. I don't think they did. I think the Charlotte Hornets, they're 5-2. They're a good team. They score a lot. They have a lot of wing dudes who can score. Miles Bridges is about to get paid. Paid. F you, pay me money. Max him. I mean, he had a stupidly good game, and he wasn't even that, otherworldly impactful as far as, shot volume or anything like that. 19 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, and just bouncy. 6 of 12 from the field, 3 of 7 for 3, got to the free throw line. He was a closer for them late, and it wasn't just scoring. It was setting things up and being difficult to deal with. And he basically exists to torment the Trailblazers, right? It's a lot, man. That big-bodied wing who's super explosive, super athletic, that's a tough cover, man. That is a tough cover. And it is what it is. So we'll kind of get into it here real quick. First of all, thank you all for tuning in for the post-game show. I know it's Sunday night. I know it's Halloween. Like I said, I'm going to keep this one a little bit shorter because I'm flying solo. I'm in here in a freaking, this is a full-ass Grumpy Bear costume. It is hot. But I've got guests coming over. The wife has got a matching one, and so does the puppy. We're doing the whole shebang. So you're going to hear the doorbell ring probably as the trick-or-treaters are coming in, and my dog's going to go nuts, and it's not going to make for a great show. But let's start with what everybody is going to talk about. But first of all, again, thank you all. Like, rate, review, subscribe if you haven't already. Please click the subscribe button if you're watching here on YouTube. If you're listening to the playback version podcast, please go ahead and like, rate, review, subscribe, whatever your favorite podcast platform. You can follow us on social at Jack Ramsays, at Danny Marang, at Brandon Sprague, or you can email the show, jackramsays@gmail.com. We will be recording a mailbag edition podcast here tomorrow. Probably before the game. We'll figure that out, or we'll push it again another day because I forgot we have the 76ers tomorrow. Yeah, I have a reeling suspicion that that's going to be the moral of the show here is the doorbell rings, the dog goes insane, and I try to find a way to cover that up. However, real quick, not real quick, this is the thing I think everybody's going to kind of want to get into, is Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard tonight was rough. It was not great. Now, I grabbed the wrong lower third, so that's how it goes with this stuff when you're trying to do a million things at once. 5 of 22 for 14 from 3. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 12 assists. So let's I know Sprague's going to say, you took 5 minutes before you started going sideways. Well, they did kind of play a weird game. Damian Lillard has had one good shooting game. The rest have been complete and total utter dumpster fires. They haven't been like, it's okay, he's fine. They have been just light it on fire, push it down the steaming river full of poo, and into a black hole abyss. He has been awful shooting the ball on nearly every level. You do not want to pull up the shot chart on NBA.com. It is abysmal. But Musa here maybe taking a step too far. I never thought I'd say this, but if we bench Dames for Ant in the fourth, the Blazers would have won that game. It's going to be more beneficial for the Blazers to kind of get this under control. It is going to be a battle here until Dame figures this out because he is the straw that stirs the drink with not only his scoring but his playmaking as well. And his playmaking has been sublime. I think he's done a really, really good job of that. He's he's going to have a career year in assists. But, and people are killing me for this, I don't think Dame has been all that explosive. I feel like something's wrong with him physically. It's not just the mental stuff of adjusting and picking and choosing his moments. He hasn't been able to blow by guys. He looks like he's fighting on threes. We haven't seen him just straight up yeet and pull from 37 and make it look simple. And I don't think that's all a mental thing. I could be totally wrong. I could be just talking out my rear end. It's just from what I see, that's not what I see as far as the impact goes. But overall, man, it was a rough night for Damian Lillard. CJ McCollum had an okay night, 10 of 24, 4 for 11. He picked and chose his moments. Picked and chose his moments to be effective as a scorer. Really kind of got going in the first half for the mid-range. Then kind of quieted off a little bit as you look up and down. Norm Powell had a quietly good game from 2, but struggled from 3. But the bench unit, I think, tonight was incredible. They were incredibly impressive efficiency-wise. Ant had a massive bounce-back game. I mean, it makes Papa proud, right? Like the whole idea of Anfernee Simons coming back and having that big game. Absolutely just continues to light it up from 3. It's one of those things where it's definitely a nice thing to see as far as consistency from Anfernee Simons. He hit his first real rough opportunity the other night. Still found a way to get involved, but tonight comes back and absolutely started cooking from 3. It's just one of those things where it's weird because the Blazers bench has been playing so consistently to start the season. I don't know what to do with it. It's I don't know how much of that is. I don't know how much of that it is. Dame is trying to find his role, and that's the thing that I'm really. If you can see, I'm kind of struggling, like trying to find how this is all going to come together because everybody talks about, well, Dame's been in this system and this is all he knows. Anfernee Simons has never had another coach in the NBA other than Terry Stotts, and we're sitting here. He's cooking. He said 3 years of it. And for those he was held back by Terry Stotts. Well, then is Chauncey now holding back Damian Lillard? That's what like this stuff like it's tough to parse through it in just assign that stuff, and that's why I can't do it. The Blazers overall have been consistently inconsistent. That is the simplest way that I can put how this game has gone, or how this team has played this season. I thought the bench unit continues to be the most consistent thing about this team, both in effort and in execution. I thought Larry Nance Jr. and Cody Zeller were fantastic tonight. You look at the bench unit. Larry Nance Jr. 4 of 5, Nasir Little 2 of 3, Cody Zeller 3 of 5, Ant 6 of 9. They shot the lights out. Then you look at the side numbers. Larry Nance Jr. 7 rebounds, Nasir Little 6 rebounds, Cody Zeller 6 rebounds, 2 assists for Zeller, a steal here, a couple blocks there. Larry Nance Jr. is the only bench player who had a negative plus-minus. It was -1. Nas +5, Zeller +3, Ant +2, and the starters just got hammered on the floor tonight. I don't like single game plus-minus, but it does kind of paint a bit of a picture that's accurate tonight. So, Olias Gaming says, I think a big part of this game was the fact that we had Zeller off the court for a while with a cut above his eye. If that's going to be a problem, Portland's in for it, because he apparently is just going to get hit all bleeping season. It was tough for him as far as Cody's concerned. He has had stitches in a third of their games. He's got a mask for a broken nose. He is literally taking all of the face shots that every Blazer was getting and is taking them all himself. It has been a lot. So you look at the box score stuff tonight, and I don't think it tells the whole story, so to speak. I think Portland, they shot okay, and then they kind of went cold. They did not get to the free throw line at all as a team. 11 to 21 for the Hornets, and no, I'm not blaming the officials. The Blazers played a relatively clean game, only 12 turnovers, 18 fouls. Hornets just took stupidly good care of the ball. I did not think Portland was all that intense at the point of attack tonight. I thought Dame got crushed by some screens and wasn't all that involved. LaMelo Ball was getting wherever the hell he wanted to, especially in that second half. He started dancing. He started feeling himself. He started cooking. One of the things that I threw out on Twitter about LaMelo is he's kind of like a gladiator in the sense of how he goes out and plays. He hands up to the crowd is are you not entertained? He knows how to figure that out. It's one of those things where he's just got that in him. It's great, and I love it. He's the Ball family. Like I've said my piece about that, but it's rough. But LaMelo is that dude. You look at again Miles Bridges tonight. Miles Bridges had a fantastic game tonight. Terry Rozier got them off to a hot start, hitting out some threes, but then cooled down a ton. Gordon Hayward, Brandon and I talked about that in the pregame. Big time, just a consistency guy. Just some assists here, some rebounds here, some good scoring here. One of the things that we worried about in the pregame was the consistency and the ability of shot making that the Charlotte Hornets have or had coming into tonight's game, and they improved upon that. Not only did they get where they wanted and find those early kick-out threes and find those easy opportunities, they beat the hell out of Portland inside. In a time when they should not have really been able to deal with that, it's one of those situations that it's a little bit difficult. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to keep the dog from barking here real quick. There we go. Go ahead and keep the minor dog barking down. But they just didn't really have an answer for anything. I mean, 125 points is 125 points. If you watch the pregame, Sprague and I were talking about taking the over pretty easily tonight, and yeah, that's kind of what happened in that regard, right? So I don't know. I've kind of talked about the same general stuff for the most part, kind of what we thought was going to happen, not necessarily the anticipation of what's going on, but I'm just now seeing some of the reactions to the Care Bear photo that I posted earlier, and listen, that's what I'm going for here, folks. Like I said, the wife has the matching Cheer Bear, the pink one, and the puppy I think has a little Cheer Bear one. I don't know. Let me know. Let us know, or let me. I say let us. I'm so used to Sprague being here. Let me know how you guys are feeling about tonight's game. What's your grand scheme takeaway? What's the thing that you're like, yeah, no, I like this. I didn't like this. As far as like what your expectations were, what you thought or what you expected or thought was going to happen, or how did it progress? Because for me, this is kind of what I expected. The Blazers have struggled with big-bodied wings, and they have a ton of them. They have a bunch of guys who they can all dribble, pass, and shoot. And the Blazers are good when they can control a guy who can dribble and pass. They can control a guy who can pass and shoot. But when they have multiple like 5-tool guys out there at the same time, they are not that good because they do not have somebody they can go, hey, we need you to take this guy and you need to make life a living hell for him. Make everybody else beat us. We can live with that. Or we are going to take everybody else away and this guy can't beat us. So it's a weird position to kind of be in, but I mean, it's just that's this team right now. Is that they're in a weird position, and I don't know how much or how impactful the Blazers can be in dictating against these big-bodied wings, against these teams that have size. I don't know. This is one of those games where I'm going to have to go back and watch the tape and go, what happened here? Why didn't this work? They were better at the point of attack against the Clippers, but I don't know how effective they really were tonight against Charlotte, because when I was watching live, it was tough. The feeling that I got as I'm sitting there watching over each play is trying not to watch the ball so much and try to watch where the help side defense was coming from. And the big thing for me was tonight, they were helping way, way, way too early, and they were collapsing, putting 10 feet in the paint kind of a deal. And it was a lot. And yeah, Nibble says Charlotte didn't miss wide open shots like the Clips were. There's some shot luck there. The Hornets have a ton of good shooters, but they also hit their open shots like crazy. How many threes did they end up with? 20 of 42. They end up shooting 52% from the field, 48% from three. And be thankful they didn't hit all their free throws, because that'd have been tough. That's the real, kind of Achilles heel for this Hornets team. They're not a great free throw shooting team. But yeah, the prevailing takeaway for me is that some of the trust that they were building, or maybe this was the game plan, was to try to wall off and take things away inside the paint and at the rim, but they just didn't really succeed at that. So the Hornets were able to score, at the rim and on their twos, but also because of the collapse, because of the early rotations, because they were getting beat at the point of attack, they were getting wide open threes for the Hornets, and they were capitalizing. Yeah, Nance and Little working in the middle. Their positioning was consistently better in the right spots. I thought Nance had a spectacular game. I thought he was really active. I thought Cody Zeller was very active. My takeaway from Cody Zeller is we need to do something to protect him, and you never have to worry about him giving effort, hustle, and whether or not he's going to dunk. He was a dunking machine, and that's just something you can count on. Nurk tonight, I don't know, 5 of 9. 13 and 14, a couple steals, sloppy with the ball, a couple of turnovers, a couple of bad passes. Seems like trying to maximize him as the playmaker or getting him truly involved is a bit problematic, so to speak. I think Sprague was onto something the other night when he said, let's try and keep things simple for him. Finish at the rim, rebound well, screen well, be physical, and not necessarily be the point of attack. And I think the big thing is that tonight they kept his minutes again, 26. He's not creeping up to that 29-30 mark. It's just not quite bubble wrap for Cody Zeller, Randy, but we're getting there, it feels like. But I think Sprague was on point with the whole idea of just keep things simple for Nurk, and then let build from there. Eric says we lost because collective we. Dame went 2 for 11 from 3. Well, he actually went 2 of 14 from 3. But they also did that because they couldn't stop anybody. That's the other thing. That part of this matters. And it wasn't like the Blazers couldn't score. They got 113, guys. Yeah, they were 17 of 54 from three, but they didn't get to the free throw line. They took relatively good care of the ball with 12 turnovers. It's not as simple as, if Dame makes his three. That's not how basketball works. We've got to get past the make or miss stuff as far as, if. It doesn't. If you're scoring 113 points and you're still getting housed, it's not about Damian Lillard missing shots. It's about not stopping the other guys. And I thought tonight Dame was pretty bad defensively for the most part. Going back again and watching this, trying to figure out exactly what happened throughout the game as far as rotations and who was coming in a little bit too early. I felt like CJ was probably tagging in a little bit too early, especially for a team that's not great as far or that big size wise. But yeah, this is kind of a weird game. But the good news is, I guess so you can say at least is that they can get rid of it or get it off their minds early. They take on Philly tomorrow, so it's a 3-game in 4 days situation. So they got that, and they get the day off, and then Cleveland. And those two teams, I don't know which version of those teams is going to show up. The NBA is so weird. Eric also says, well, Oubre had a career night. Let's be real. Again, yes, these things happen when defenses don't play well. This whole excusing thing, it gets tiring, guys. But it's also the NBA. Sometimes guys get on heaters, and you got to find ways to stop other guys. That's okay. Sometimes you just can't do anything, and you just got to pack it up and go home. That also happens. So, like I said, I'm not getting all worked up or worried about it. This team has been consistently inconsistent. I'm sure there'll be a narrative now tonight, like there was the other night, or they won, they played really well, they're really executing Chauncey's scheme, and now tonight it'll be, that's the old Stotts stuff, rearing its ugly head. And they're not playing Chauncey's system when they win and shit Terry's when they lose. That's not how this stuff works. It's really not. I promise you. Coaches aren't that impactful. That's on the players. Always has been, always will be. But overall, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm going to keep this one pretty stinking short. Like I said, it's Halloween night. I've got some company over. I was terrible about scheduling everything, and I don't have Brandon here to keep me in check. So we will have the mailbag pod. We will have the pre and post for the Philly game. Overall, grand scheme takeaway. This isn't quite a take it and flush it, but I don't think you're looking at it and using it for anything other than we've got to be better than this. And that's my Chauncey Billups right there. If I'm in the film room, you're showing just nothing but their penetration over and over and over and over again, because their point of attack was able to get where they wanted. Very rarely, particularly with the starting lineup, were they able to be impactful or effective on the defensive end. The bench unit came in, and I thought they actually did a pretty damn good job. That mixed bench unit of the 4 bench guys, Ant, Nas, Cody, Larry, and Dame, I actually thought was probably one of the better units tonight as far as their process. And remember, again, we're going to emphasize process, not results. And that's why, again, I don't think you just beat this. I don't think you just beat this game to death. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. We'll have you again tomorrow for the Philadelphia game, pregame and postgame with Brandon Sprague. We'll see what we can do about sneaking the mailbag in there. If not, we'll get it out on Tuesday. Until then, guys, thank you all so very much. Enjoy your Halloween. Be safe. Have fun, and remember, just gotta keep your grumpy bear on, right? I'll put it on for the memes. All right. So here you go. There you go, everybody. There's the grumpy bear. Enjoy. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.